All right, welcome back. So the topic of this video is about defining and identifying tension in Wing Chun. So there's a few different schools of thought. All right, these are probably the most common. On one extreme, you have those who say that you have to be relaxed, okay, completely relaxed. And the image that comes up in my head is someone who's just kind of like a blob, and then they're doing, the spaghetti arms, okay? If you think that works, please go test it out. No need to get an answer back to me. I can already tell you it doesn't, okay? Then you have the other extreme, which is about using muscle, developing muscle, because it makes you fast, and you have power and explosiveness. The problem with that is if you rely on muscle, then you fatigue. It's rigid and it's not sustainable. Okay? Then you have what's probably more of the middle ground, which is what I subscribe to, and that's called natural tension. The problem is that it's a very difficult concept to understand because it takes a long time, requires a lot of self-awareness, a lot of honesty with yourself and your own training. So one way that's helped me to understand that a little bit better is defining it as effort is equal to tension, all right? What I mean by that is because oftentimes what you'll see is that natural means different things to different people. Some people, natural is standing really stiff or being very robotic, okay? Correct tension should be little to no effort or even effortless. When you think about some examples in your daily life, eating with a spoon or chopsticks, typing, writing with a pen, walking, even just standing. These are all things that, yes, they were skills that she had to learn, but eventually became effortless, required very little effort, if any, okay, to be able to execute. And that's what you're trying to develop in your Wing Chun, is that you want it to be effortless. And so the tension, therefore, has to be natural, okay? So what I want to point out is different points of tension to be aware of. So for instance, we talk about the three different structures, right? Hands, body, legs. With the hands, whatever it is that you're doing, whether it's punch or blocking, you want to have the correct amount of tension here in the index finger because that's where the release is. You want the wrist to be straight, not bent this way, okay? Because even if you just test it, right? If I hold my hand out like this and I bend it downwards, you can feel the tension build up right here, okay? Or if I go like this, tension right here on the thumb side. All right, it starts to increase. But if I hold it straight, keep my index finger straight, fingers slightly together to balance that out, okay, you actually feel the release out of the hand, okay? Another way for me to explain it to you guys too is here, let's say I'm doing the roll motion, okay, from tan to bong, all right? I want to maintain this tension from motion to motion throughout each motion. The wrong way would be here, I have the correct tension, but then as I move up to the next motion, the bong sao, I deflate and then I recreate. And then I deflate and then I recreate, okay? That's incorrect. I want to make sure that this is consistent from transitioning from one motion to the next. So here, if I'm in tan, I keep everything straight. I make sure that tension in my finger stays the same. And here I am. I move down, same thing, okay? Because you'll hear especially some of the Windy City and the Kieran Rise stuff, inflation of a balloon, right? If you think about the balloon, your hand triangle is this balloon. And it doesn't deflate and inflate and deflate and inflate, okay? That's what's happening right here. Then you think about let's say, okay, body tension, right? Where are you creating that? What do you need to be aware of? Well, one of the things that you'll end up feeling is probably kick back into the shoulder, or you'll start feeling shoulder fatigue. And the way that you want to adjust that and fix that is your posture, okay? Right now, probably looks like I'm standing straight, but I can tell you I'm not, okay? If I pull up like this, now it looks like I'm standing straight, all right? My shoulders are sunk, but my chest is out, and there's a slight tuck with the chin down. And what I feel here is a little bit of a pull at the top of the spine, okay? The next point is right here at the hips, because what do you have to do to balance this out? Well, you have to tuck the hips in order to connect the body to the legs, all right? What's happening here is, now that I have this tension that's created, from the posture and the hip tuck, is I start to feel tension build up here in the abdomen. And when that happens, you have to be able to adjust the knees, okay? And I move back here so you can see it a little bit better. All right, standing up straight, I have the correct hand tension, and then I tuck the hips, but now I'm starting to feel a little bit of tension build up in the abdomen or the lower back. And so I use my knees to adjust that. Now if you see, I'm not sinking down, I'm not bending my knees. It's a sink. It's kind of like an escalator going down, right here, to relieve the tension that I feel right down here, all right? When you do that, then you feel the ground stable underneath your feet, okay? Yes, in theory, it all sounds very simple. Oh, okay, I keep the tension right here in the index finger, keep my wrist straight, and then in order to connect the hand structure to the body, I gotta have the proper posture, that connects myself to the shoulder. And then here, I stretch at the top, then I stretch at the bottom of the spine by the hip tuck. I feel that tension right here in the stomach, and then I sink with the knees. Coordination is a huge aspect to all this. Can you coordinate all three of those things at once? Okay, that's where the skill ends up being developed. Right, that's where it all lies, and that takes a long time, a lot of practice. All right, so hopefully that gives you a little bit of insight into what to look for in terms of defining what that tension means, in terms of identifying those points that you need to be aware of and how to troubleshoot them. Good? Appreciate you guys watching. Thanks for tuning in. Until next time, good luck with your practice. Thanks.